Hello and good morning everyone. My name is Akrati and welcome back to my solution series. Today we will be solving one more questions on array. So here's the question. This is the question number 500 of Leetcode of section array whose name is keyboard row. Okay. So let's read the question first. In the question it is mentioned that there is given an array of strings. Okay. Namely words. We have to return the words that can be typed using letters of the alphabet on only one row of American keyboard, like the image given below. We can see the image. Okay. And here are a few examples for the better understanding of the problem. So you can refer to these examples as well. Um, so let me explain you the question first. So in this question, they are saying that we have an array of strings whose name is words. Okay, we are given with this array. So what we have to do, we have to return all the strings in that array. In which all the character of the strings belong to the single row of the American keyboard. Okay, like this is the first row, this is the first row, this is the second row of the American keyboard, and this one is the third row. So in the first row we can see Q W E R T Y U I O P. These are the characters which is there in the first row of the American keyboard, and A S B F G H J K L, these are the characters which are there in the second row, and similarly in the third row these are the characters. Okay, so what it is saying, it is saying we have to return only those words which belong to the same row of the American keyboard. Like we can see there is a word called Alaska. So we can see A is there in the second row, okay. L is there in the second row, okay. A is there in the second row, okay. Okay. S is there in the second row of the American keyboard, okay. K is there in the second row, okay. And A is there in the second row, okay. So we can see all the characters of this word belong to the same row of the American keyboard or the second row of the American keyboard. So we have to return this word. Like we can say in case of hello, H belong to the second row of the American keyboard, whereas E belong to the first row. So here we can see there are characters which do not belong to the same row of the American keyboard. So we don't have to return this word. So I hope you guys have understood the question well, what we have to do or what not. Okay, so let's start with the question. So first of all, what we have to do, we have to create um um we have to create a vector, or simply we can say array, which contain the strings of the strings containing all the characters of each row of the American keyboard for me. Okay, so let me first write, we are declaring a vector where we will be storing strings. Okay, and which is, so in the first row, what all are the characters? Q W E R T Y, Q W E R T Y U I O. These are the characters which are in the first row of the American keyboard. In the second row, A S D F G H J K L. These all are the characters which are in the second row, and for the third row, these are the characters Z X C V B and M. Okay, so we have stored all the characters of the American keyboard row wise in a vector. Now we will be declaring one more vector, which will be our result vector, in the vector in which we are going to store the result of our question. So vector string. Okay, let me name this rows. Let's name it keyboard rows. Okay, keyboard rows. So I have named this vector as keyboard row. This one is our result vector. Okay, I've done this. Now what we are gonna do, how we are going to approach this problem. So what I was thinking, I was firstly, what we have to do, we have to store all the characters of the American keyboard, like you can see here, all these characters from first row, second row, third row. So we have to store all these characters in a map, in an unordered map, with their value as a number of row from which they belong. Okay, like I will be storing all these characters in our map, and I will give them a value of 1 because they belong to the first row of the American keyboard. In the same way, I will be storing all these characters with a value 2. I will be storing all these characters in a map with a value 3. So this way we have to store all these characters in a map as a key value pair. So our key will be the character and our value will be the number of row which it belong to. So let me declare an unordered map. I hope you guys know how to declare an unordered map. So first will be key will be of type string and the value will be of type integer. Say because I'm sorry, it should be a character instead. So okay, so key will be the character and the value will be the integer. So what we are gonna do, we are storing characters of American keyboard and we are giving its value as a number of row which it belong to. Okay, so this was the map. Now um, for type 0, let me start with 1. I should be less than keyboard rows dot size. So what I'm doing, I'm traversing this array. Okay, I'm traversing this array and I will be storing each and every character for character C in keyboard rows of I. What we have to do, we have to store it in a map. So what was the name of our map? I have forgotten to give the name to our map. This is the syntax. Okay, so MP is the name of our map. So MP of C should be equals to I. Okay, this is how what we are gonna do in this line. What we are doing in this line. Okay, so this line simply says that we are storing each and every character in a word. Each and every character of the so simply what we are doing, we are storing each and every character of each row of the keyboard and we are giving its value as a number of keyboard as a number of row it belong to. So like we have started traversing a character in the first row, like from this string we are traversing the characters and then we are giving its value as 1 and we are storing it in map. Okay, so this is how we have stored all the characters of the keyboard in our map. Now what we have to do, we have to traverse our words array. So for strange words in words, I hope you guys are clear with this syntax. Like, what does this mean? It simply mean we are um, we are taking one by one each and every string which is present in the array word. Okay, we will be considering each and every string which is present in the array words one by one, and we will be implementing some code for it here. So now what we are going to do, we are traversing each and every word which is present in the array words and we will see if all the characters of that word belong to a single row of the keyboard or not. So how will we checking this? We will be first storing uh, we will be first storing the first character of the word. Okay, so we will be first storing the first character of the word in a variable which I'm calling first character. row. Okay, so we will be storing the first character row in a variable, and that's how we are going to do this. It will be like empty of word of 0. Okay, so what this line is saying, this line is saying that for the first word in the array words, we are storing the first character of the word. We are storing the row to which the first character of the word belong to. Okay, now we will be traversing each and every character in word as well. So word first character C in word we will see. Here I have to declare one more valid variable which is going to be boolean. Um, okay, which going to be boolean, and it will simply store true and false. So same row equal. So, what is the work of this variable? This variable is going to store true or false on the basis of whether or not all the characters of the word belong to the same of the keyboard or not. Okay. So, in the initially we have given it true, but now we will be checking if all the elements of the word, if all the characters of the word belong to the same row of the keyboard or not. So how we will be checking this? We will check it by if character C, map of character C is not equals to what we have defined here, first character row. Okay, then what we have to do, we have to make same row bool as a false, and we have to break this for loop. Now after this for loop, we will be checking if same row equal true, then we have to push that element in our result array. Push result dot push back word, and after this we will be returning our result. Okay, let's see if it's working or not. After that I will explain you everything in detail. Okay, so there's error. Like you can see, two test cases have been passed, but one is not. Let's see why. So this one is okay because O M K does not belong to the same row. We can see O is here, O is here, M is here. So of course it doesn't. All the characters of this word doesn't belong to the same row. So output should be nothing. In this we can see this belong to the same row, all these characters in this word and all these characters in this belong to the same row, so we are getting this output. But what is the issue in this test case? We are getting nothing in our output, but the expected output is Alaska, and that should be there. And of course we can see Alaska, and Alaska all the characters belong to the same row, and in that as well all the characters belong to the same row. So what is the issue? Like what is wrong in our code? Here you can see what was the difference in third and case of one. What was the difference? Because we were getting the right answer in case third, but we are not getting the right answer in case one. Why? Because all the characters in the words of case one are in lowercase, you can simply see. So we got the correct answer, but in case of the case one, here you can see the first character of each word is in uppercase. That's why we are not getting the right answer, just because let me show you here. Here we are what we are doing, we are storing the character in our map, and we are storing its value as the number of row it belong to. But we are not storing characters in both the uppercase as well as in lowercase. We are storing only in lowercase, you can see. Okay, because here also we have stored all the characters in our array as a lowercase only. So in the map also it is storing all the characters in lowercase only, so we have to consider uppercase also. So this is the function which we use to convert any character in lowercase, and this is the function which we use to convert any character in uppercase to upper. Okay, C equals to I. So now we have considered all the cases including upper as well as in lower case. Okay, now let me run this again. Now you can see all the test cases have passed, and let me submit the solution. So you can see our answer is accepted, and of course we have solved our answer. So now let me explain you the complete solution in detail. So from the very starting, what we were doing, we have simply declared a vector which is going to store all the which is going to store three strings, and what these three strings are all about, these three strings are storing all the characters in the rows of the keyboard. Like in the first row, all the characters are stored in the first element of the in the first string. The all the characters of the second row of the keyboard are stored in the second string, and all the characters of third row of the keyboard are stored in the third string of this array, you can say. Now what we have done, we have declared one more vector which is result, and we have declared an unordered map. Now what was the use of the unordered map in our question? So what we were doing, we were storing we were traversing each and every row of the keyboard, or you can simply say we were traversing each and every string of this array one by one. And what we were doing, we were storing each character of the string as a key value pair in our map, where key is the character of the string and value is the row to which it belongs. Okay, like q belong to the first row, so we are storing q and its value is 1. W belong to the first row, so we are storing w and its value is 1. In the same way we are storing a and its value is 2, and in this way we are storing all the characters of our of our keyboard, and we are storing the row it belonged to. So this was the use of map. Now what we are doing, we are traversing each and every word which is there in the vector which is given in the question. So we are storing each and every word one by one. So let's talk about the first word which will be there in the vector words. So in the first word, what we are doing, we are storing, we are just trying to know what is the row the first character of the word belong to. Like in our word, the first character belong to the, let's suppose in our word the first character belong to the second row. Okay, so now we will be checking if all the characters of the word belong to the second row or not. If it belongs to, if all these all the remaining characters of our word belong to the second row, then okay, we can pass this word in our result array. Otherwise we cannot. Like if the first word belong to the second row, and if any of the remaining word belong to any other row, then we will not be passing our word in our result array, because all the characters in that word does not belong to the same row. That was what question expecting from us. So in this way we are checking if all the characters belong to the second same row or not. If not, then we have to set the same row boolean false and break this through loop. Now here we are checking if same row is true, then we have to push back our word in the result array, otherwise not, and here we are returning result array. So this was the complete explanation of the solution. I hope you guys have understood each and every line which I have executed in this problem. So if you are facing any issue, or if you have any doubt related to the solution of this question, then feel free to ask in comment box. Thank you so much.